Welcome, viewers, back to Heart of the Machine, where we are in the progress of attempting to rescue or liberate some augmented bears from what appears to be an illegal racing ring in the heart of Vorsabur City, somewhere in Siberia. In addition to that, we are also waiting for our extraction drone on this large economic transport to extract some of the purple Murnong that this transport is carrying. In one turn, we're going to pick up between 2,000 and 8,000 purple Murnong from this guy, which should be enough to start making some vitamin water for the Nomads. Those are our top two concerns. One of them is going to take at least 5 turns, and the other one is going to take 1 more turn. Meanwhile, we are almost finished filling our mine farms with human mines. It looks like maybe 1 or 2 turns left on this. It's not really certain what is going to happen after that, but it definitely seems like our business is doing okay at this point, resource-wise. We are starting to run out of vat-grown meat, finally. Which the game has been warning us for some time that was going to happen with 3 suggested protein vats and 1 suggested bovine replicator. So it's probably a good place to start. Listen to the machine. It knows how many you need. Let's make that 1 more bovine replicator. I think we're going to have to move across the street with these. Maybe we'll knock down some of these old buildings here. 1 more bovine replicator, 3 more protein vats. I'm guessing that it's just going to be right about how many we need. Cyberocracy hubs. We're still waiting on that because I think that's going to be a lot of management. Probably do it after the prison heist, if possible. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the prison heist ends the world, who knows. This great game is crazy. Zoology labs, we're definitely ignoring that suggestion. Although, yeah, the reason being that even if we build those zoology labs, we don't have the veterinary labs that would be necessary to complete that. And I'm not certain if there's an obvious way in here to get more labs. Like maybe that would come in structural improvement. Structural improvement's pretty cheap, so maybe worth just trying to see. Yeah, look at that. Surgical suite. I guess we can. Stewards is also interesting to give us more residential megastructures, but surgical suite, let's do that. That'll let us build more vets, then maybe we can build both vets and the zoo and finish the break-in sooner. It's also, while we're here, worth looking at what else is still available here. Things are getting pretty expensive. Martial Expansion 5 is expensive. We could research guns and knives. And just items in general, very cheap still. We haven't really done anything in terms of item development this whole game. What do we get in these even? Ah, armor piercing. Yes, of course we want better armor piercing. Let's do it on the androids first, and let's do 1 more of those. Maybe a couple more of those. They're very cheap. Or android armor piercing effectiveness. That will mean that we'll need to spend fewer consumables when firing armor piercing weapons. Let's do those 2, and let's also add 1 to the vehicle. That started to bring item development cost a little high, so we'll stay out of that for now. Vehicle development is low. Melee research and gun research. Let's do a couple of these. Rifle or shotgun? The eternal question here. We are kind of killing it with the shotguns, honestly. I don't think there's been anything that survived a single shot from us, except for some of the bigger mechs, which take roughly 2 shots. Rifles, we still haven't really upgraded rifles enough to justify putting them in the hands of any of our units, honestly. So maybe the right thing to do here is to finish our shotgun upgrades all the way to 10 before we switch over to a different weapon category. I'm going to choose to do that, and we'll do another gun research. And this time we can't pick the same option, although handguns versus rifles, we're going to go with rifles. And we'll do that one more time. Shotguns. That's going to get us up to 10 upgrades on shotgun muzzle velocity. That is the maximum shotgun muzzle velocity. 300% stat increase. Very nice. We will revisit that later. Right now it's quite expensive. Small arms research. What happens when we click on there? Mill style armor. Armor materials study. Grenade density. Rifle projectile density. Well, that seems like a no-brainer. I think we're going with the rifle projectile density, getting our maximum rifle projectile density. We'll skip any that are too expensive. Let's go to melee. We haven't really done any melee research. Melee skill. We're not really using knuckles at all, but fear effectiveness, that's quite interesting. Let's go for fear effectiveness. We've done this a few times. Maybe we'll spend a few points on melee fear effectiveness or melee skill. Wow, there are a lot of melee weapons that we just haven't discovered yet. Fear effectiveness, we're going to keep going up. I think we're going to do melee research one more time and keep upping our fear effectiveness. The scary shotgun is getting more effective, which reminds me of something else that we should invest in. I'm very much tempted to do another computing optimization in the hopes that we get another mine to annex, but it just seems like a huge gamble at this point. We could be spending that on other things. Speaking of spending, let's spend some of our action points and mental energy in finishing these. We do have a couple anthro-neuroweave factories. Like, these don't really seem to be giving us anything immediately other than an income of anthro-neuroweave, which we don't have any use for at the moment. Drone factories are a lot more valuable right now. Where's our other tech? Still on board the Lion, right here. Might as well hop out and lend a hand, buddy. Alright, so currently everything that is possible to upgrade or to finish building has been finished. Look at that. Murnong, do we have any? No, we can't do it yet. Strange that it seems to let us, but then if you actually try it, what happens? Wow, it's beautiful. It's just a little flower, and we can just stick these anywhere, huh? Stick them right by our tower. Who is that on top of our tower? It's a bulk predator. Stick them right by our tower. I'm not sure why it's letting me build these. I wonder if we try to accelerate that building, if it works. Interesting. They have a purple Murnong expense, and they output purple Murnong when they're built. We don't have any purple Murnong, but it's still letting us build them, presumably in anticipation that we will have some by the time those are done. I'm not sure what happens there if we don't have enough to build them. Let's see, what does senior tech contribute here? Look at that, somehow we have a purple Murnong, even though we didn't have any purple Murnong income. I wonder if we've discovered a loophole. No matter, we have it now. Let's make a vitamin infuser. We also should make all of these buildings, in fact. Let's do the vitamin infuser first, because that is the most interesting. Vitamin infusers output vitamin water. They are also... do they require new buildings? I still don't know if there's a way, just by looking at this card, to tell if this is going to require an existing building or be its own building. It would be nice if the card showed you that in some clear way. I'm going to put these down close to the center because they're tiny. Can drop them right here, in fact. Zoology lab vet practice. What's the priority there is vets. Let's make 2, even though it's suggesting 3. Whatever. Let's just make as many as we can, I guess. These are going to need buildings out this way. So let's try to prioritize locations that will actually be in repair. Although we do have a lot of spiders now, so we can build new buildings. A lot of things are sort of outside the circles, though. Maybe that's another thing we'll explore soon, is just expanding our repair coverage. For now, I'm gonna set these down in buildings that are inside coverage. Unfortunately, this view is very hard to see empty buildings on. Unfortunately, we're out of alumina, so veterinary practice must have used alumina. Is that true? It did indeed. 5,000 alumina for those. Our alumina income is hard to judge because we spent so much. But I think that means we're sort of out of luck when it comes to building the rest of those for now. At least we got the veterinary research upgraded a little bit. We'll take a look at alumina soon, but our main source of alumina is buying it now with our enormous 37,000 income. We seem to be in a position where we will have no trouble buying that stuff as it comes in. As for what else we should be doing right now, we really should be finishing building the buildings. Duh. Let's build some protein vats. And that's it. 5 moves left. We're out of moves for our techs. We still have a bunch of predators. And probably would be smart to heal them. Another thing that might be smart is to slip this guy into mercurial form. I wonder if he can attack while in that form. So right now he's invisible, and it does take an interesting shape. It's like a little puddle of crystal metal. I think we can do that to our dragon also. Only takes mental energy. That dragon just goes invisible. Look at that. He's out of the sky. So I believe we can move it around safely, but without getting shot, but I'm not sure if it still destroys buildings where it moves. Three mental energy left. Hard pressed to find something to do at this point. I don't think we have anything left. We could build more vehicles. So we do have a Spectre that we've never built, and a troop ship. Spectre takes 12. Spectre would be good for following things around and just extracting from them. Troop ship, on the other hand, would be better for moving androids and small mechs around. So yeah, that's a target. That's 4 mental energy though, and 12,000 morphologic lattice. Yeah, we'll have that next turn, but those are only used for ships, so I'm not worried too much about that, but I think we must have spent a bunch, yeah, when we made the mine port. So we'll make this guy next turn. That'll leave us with 4. Not enough to make another iris, but maybe that is an indication that we should do a vehicle development inspiration one more time. And bump up our max vehicle capacity. Let's see, all of these other things. Engineering, like, still not quite sure why you'd give engineering to a vehicle. I haven't really seen a use for that yet. But maybe you can do contemplations with vehicles and I've just missed it. Max vehicle capacity is probably what we want. Getting some new of those camera vehicles out there is probably a smart call. Bumping up hull strength could be good. But yeah, let's do capacity for now. And 3 more mental energy gives us, with that capacity, still can't build the troop ship because we're just out of stuff. But this guy, let's see, 6,000. If we built that, that would prevent us from building the troop ship next turn, wouldn't it? Yeah, so let's wait. Let's wait, hold off a turn before we start building ships. What about bulk mechs? Bulk Nickelbots are pretty cheap. We could do 1 more of those with our current 3 mental energy. How are these guys armed? Currently armed with the M2 Gallant, which is doing suppressing fire, has some armor piercing, pretty decent combat power. The alternative is the Achilles. Both of these are rifles. The Achilles or the AR-52 Black. AR-52 Black is a little more deadly, but has less suppressing fire. I think we're leaving them armed with these Gallants. Suppressing fire, what it's doing for us is enemy units within the attack range of this unit have their attack and movement ranges reduced. So yeah, like that seems huge if we could blanket a place with Gallants. Plus, our current build out of these guys has optical processing priority, so they have a huge range. Bulk Nickelbots may actually be fantastic if that actually operates the way it claims. I wish I could cycle through my bulk Nickelbots easier. Let's see. We can go through here and find them. We have quite a few. Can't really see their range easily, I guess. I guess if in this screen we can see their range, yeah. So that's the range of 1 Nickelbot there. That's pretty big. So anytime he fires in this range, every other enemy in that range is suppressed. That seems a bit OP if that works, the way I understand. We also have 1 here. We have these guys all over in the slum area. We can move these guys to somewhere more interesting. We have 1 down here, another 1 down here, and that's it. So if I was to place some more bulk Nickelbots, might be sensible to place 1 down here in case this happens. Yeah, why don't we do that? Just place a bulk down here in a place where it's gonna make sense. On top of one of these big buildings. There we go. Okay, that's enough to move us to turn 250. 250. It's quite a few turns. Alright, we found 2,515 purple Murnong. And interestingly, it didn't go down. So yeah, that seems like a glitch that we were able to build the purple Murnong plants, even though we didn't actually have any. We are reporting a TPS report, Murnong patch. Okay, so maybe we're able to build it, it just can't produce Murnong because it didn't have enough. That's probably what's happening there. So this should go away next turn. Ledger, vat grow meat, we're still a little behind on vat grow meat. We have 4 more turns for the Ursine investigation to complete there. Our extraction from that 1 transport ship is done. Let's see, you know, that's something we've probably underutilized, is just being able to do extractions from transport ships. So, unloaded. Local harvest hauler. I wonder if you have to have a ship with extraction selected. Look at all these transports. Like, we should be attaching extraction drones to all these, I think. And just, like, you know, we're here in the city to fend for ourselves. We're ethical about murdering, but not necessarily about stealing. It's too bad that it doesn't really tell us what we get. I'm kind of interested in just firing a drone at these guys. Ah, there we go. Not a valid extraction target. Okay, so maybe this is just a future thing. Ooh, this guy's got high drone resistance. Can we improve our drone quality? No. What's the best drone quality? I might be drifting way off topic here. Drone quality. Iris, really? So currently our best extractor is the Iris. That's kind of surprising. It's also one of our faster units. Next fastest being the Spectre. What about maximum drone quality? Okay, we can upgrade both the mine port and the Spectre with better drone quality. In fact, we should do that for the mine port before starting this Urson thing, because we know for a fact we're going to be using drones from this thing, right? What do we have right now? Optical processing priority. We don't need range. You know, actually, what I'm going to do is leave these on optical processing priority when the opportunity arrives to use drones. It doesn't take any time to switch to this. This timer means once you've switched, that's how long you have to wait before switching again. So it's always better to wait until you need to use an ability to make sure that you want to switch to it then, rather than switching to it in advance. That's my understanding here, at least. I'm happy to be corrected if I'm just misunderstanding that and you have a better idea. But that's sort of the way I see it right now. Extraction drones, regional mining hauler. Yeah, so everybody's just not a valid extraction target. It seems kind of like a missed opportunity. I should be allowed to be trying to steal from these. Maybe it would just be too much income too easily if we were able to do that. What about this one? Nope. Alright, so just nobody's a valid target. Okay, while we wait for the remaining 4 turns here, that means we're not going to be doing any extracting. Building wise, we do have enough to make a zoology lab, it looks like, so let's go ahead and hit up one of those. We want to see the repair circles while we do this and get it inside the repair radius. Pretty sure all possible buildings are occupied in the easy locations, so one left is here. And the only thing left is cyberocracy hubs. Cyberocracy hubs also require buildings, but there's plenty of places to put those. We're going to hold off on that until we reduce the cognitive load from all these projects we're trying to do, so that we don't have to fight combats on 3 different fronts. Two is going to be enough. Decryption is still proceeding as expected. Looks like maybe 2 more turns at most for Company Plateau. Maybe we'll hit that in the next turn. 4 turns to go. 17 mental energy. It just feels like we have a bunch of mental energy to waste. I think we're probably going to try to use it to build more androids. 12 left. All buildings complete. Let's see. Plenty of space for more bulk vehicles. Let's build up some vehicles. We do have a troop ship we can crank out. Yeah, this is a new ship for us. We'll probably go and bring this down here and replace the Bastion as carrier. Let's take a look at the troop ship. It's nice and orange. I love the color and the sleek styling. Looks way different than human troop ships. How far can it move? Ooh, it has a nice move radius. Yeah, let's bring them down here. We're not going to transfer people into it now, but when we need to move them out there, we'll use the troop ship. Troop ship has nothing we can upgrade on it. The other ship we'd like to make is an iris. We need to wait a few turns for our morphologic lattice to rebuild. So instead of that, what we will concentrate on are bulk units. This bulk Nickelbot, I'm pretty sure you are out of repair radius, right? No, you're there. Okay, so you should be getting slowly repaired. Bulk units. We also have the Moss Advena. Could be sent back to get repairs. Let's do that. You're just out of range there, buddy. Send you right there. I'm actually not sure if repair spiders do repair these. Let's take a look next turn to see. Moss Advena is at 94, so I'll try to remember to look at her next turn. And then let's concentrate on bulk units next. We don't have any capacity for mechs, and the worm is taking all of our mech capacity, so that's another science that we probably want to look into. Let's drop a few more bulk Nickelbots. Maybe one more down here couldn't hurt, right? Unfortunately, we just moved the... Wait. Oh, wow. The troop ship lets us deploy androids. I had no idea. Allows you to create androids near this and outside of your network range. Okay, fantastic. So, troop ship. Ooh, look at that. We can also extract from military troop carriers scandium. Scandium mostly used to build ships, I think. We don't really seem to have a need for it. Let's drop another android up on top of one of these buildings. I don't think bulk androids give you vision, which is unfortunate, but they're interesting. We also have... We could make bulk Keanus. Super speed shadow dwellers. I'm not sure we have any of these yet. Yeah, we've never really made bulk PMCs, Keanus, or sledges, all in favor of combat units and peacekeepers. Mostly been doing straight up combat. Not sure why you'd need bulk Shadow Dweller, honestly. I guess because you can sort of move them into secret areas and, interesting, maybe use them as defenders in there. Let's actually test that idea. What happens if we move a bulk, if we build a bulk Keanu and then move it into the area near the prison? Prison was here, right? Yeah, so we can build right here. We can't. Why can't we build you? Alright, look at that. Yeah, so that was my question, was we're supposed to be able to move you into secret areas, right? So why does it say they're going to shoot you as soon as you're in there? It's another thing we're going to test next turn. We're going to test moving it through here. This is only L2 clearance. It should be possible to secretly move him in. Maybe he needs to be in some sort of stealth mode first. That's super speed. Let's give him some augments. Let's give him the... Not sure he needs security jacket, because he should be a Shadow Dweller. But what's interesting is I don't see Shadow Dweller perk here on the bulk. So maybe Shadow Dweller just doesn't apply to bulks. Let's give him security jacket just to see. Nope. Yeah, so I don't think invisibility applies to bulks. I think that's why this doesn't work. So we'll have to change that back. We would want these guys to be lightweight. Don't think they need shoulder-mounted rockets. It might be nice to make the bulk Keanu's Oath of Pacifism just to see what that does for them. You can do a double Oath of Pacifism. That's going to give them just like ridiculous amount of fear attack power and intimidation. Let's see what that does. No mental energy to attack, unfortunately, so we can't tell this turn, but maybe we'll take a look at that next turn just for fun. Let's move on to turn 251 and see about all of these issues that we're tracking. So while we're changing the turn, we want to be looking at the Ursine contemplation over here. 4 turns to go. Not going to happen anytime soon. But we did finish Vitamin Water for Nomads. And Company Plateau. Fantastic. Company Plateau was a timeline goal. Still only a single murder so far. The one that was forced on us at the very start. Human citizen pop is up to almost 10.5 million. We've logged 138 million VR day use hours. That's a lot. None of the associated achievements yet. I think we need to do something in a new timeline for all of these. That's not justice. Lost Gen kids prevented the Lost Gen kids from enacting an adolescent's idea of justice born out of trauma. One apocalypse for another. Avert the apocalypse by starting World War IV. Oof. Rebel Alliance working with Rebel allies gain access to level 4 security clearance. We do want to figure that out. Pull the lever using a backdoor in brain implants you've sold to the wealthy cause an immediate aneurysm in at least 500,000 people at once. Well, that sounds sort of like it's against the spirit of our current timeline. Look at this. We've also are developing slowly a cult timeline. Cult action sidebar. This hasn't really come up at all yet, so I haven't been really noticing. But look at this. I think this is just because the AGI are sort of treating us as a cult. This is growing. Cult loyalty. We could give them gather neodymium. We could spend the loyalty, it looks like, to just get materials. We're just going to hold off for now. We could also speed up all construction or speed up single construction. Interesting. So you can eventually get them to do stuff for you. Maybe that decision to not become the cult leader was a bad idea. We could basically have a billion little androids working for us right now, couldn't we? Speaking of things that we wish we could do, I wish I could continue, but that has been my time for this episode. As we scan across the city, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Please join me next time. Also, consider clicking that like button for me. Subscribing to the channel would be really helpful to get my algorithm numbers up. And, you know, if you've got anything to say, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Let me know how I'm doing, good or bad, on this series. Want to hear it all. I hope you join me next time. Until next time, this has been Corknut playing Heart of the Machine. Bye for now.